Have you ever felt like someone's negativity is a storm, pulling you into chaos? Yet here's the thing, a storm cannot disturb the sky unless the sky allows it. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Before we dive in, affirm this in the comments. I choose inner peace over external chaos. Let's claim our serenity together. Today, we're embarking on a journey through 12 smart ways to deal with toxic people, rooted in the philosophy of Stoicism. These lessons are not about escaping or avoiding, but about mastering yourself amidst adversity. Each principle is a step toward reclaiming your inner peace and realigning with your true purpose. 1. Understand the source of their behavior. It's often said that people who hurt others are themselves deeply hurt. Toxic behaviors like manipulation, criticism, or jealousy often arise from unresolved pain or insecurity. Marcus Aurelius teaches us to pause and observe. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. This means that a toxic person's behavior reflects their internal struggles, not a reflection of your worth. Understanding this isn't about excusing bad behavior, but about freeing yourself from its emotional weight. When someone lashes out at you, consider what might be driving their actions. Is it fear? Is it envy? Or perhaps they feel unheard or powerless in their own lives. Such questions shift your perspective from being a victim of their behavior to becoming an observer of their struggles. However, understanding must be balanced with self-protection. Imagine their toxicity as a storm. You can acknowledge its power without stepping into the rain unprepared. Let their behavior inform your decisions, not overwhelm your emotions. The Stoics believed in maintaining equanimity regardless of external chaos. So, when you're confronted with someone's toxic tendencies, don't let their storm become yours. Instead, observe from a distance, grounded and calm. Marcus often reminded himself that life's challenges are opportunities for growth. In his words, what stands in the way becomes the way. Toxic individuals may test your patience, but they also offer you a chance to practice resilience, understanding, and clarity. This practice builds inner strength. Lastly, recognize that their actions are often unrelated to you. Most people act out of their own struggles, not because of who you are. This mindset shift allows you to navigate these interactions without personalizing them, fostering emotional freedom. Toxicity might knock at your door, but it's up to you whether you let it in. 2. Define and uphold your boundaries. Boundaries are not walls meant to isolate you. They're gates designed to protect what's valuable: your peace, energy, and self-respect. Marcus Aurelius believed in the discipline of the mind, asserting, "You must build up your own mind and not be carried away like a puppet on a string." A life without boundaries often leads to chaos, as it allows others to dictate your actions and emotions. Start by identifying what behaviors you will not tolerate. This clarity is crucial. If someone constantly interrupts your thoughts with negativity, drains your energy with demands, or criticizes you unfairly, it's essential to communicate your limits. Saying no doesn't make you unkind. It makes you mindful of your well-being. When establishing boundaries, you may face resistance, especially from those who benefited from your lack of them. Toxic people might guilt-trip you or accuse you of being selfish. Here, the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius can guide you. Be content to see things as they are and treat them as they deserve. Stand firm, knowing that prioritizing your mental health is not selfish. It's necessary. Consider this analogy. A fortress without walls is vulnerable to invasion. Your boundaries are the walls that protect your inner world. But remember, these walls need gates, allowing healthy relationships and positive energy to flow in. Don't shut everyone out in fear of toxicity. Instead, discern who belongs within your protected space. Enforcing boundaries might mean having difficult conversations, reducing interactions, or even walking away from certain relationships. Whatever the method, the outcome is invaluable. A life where your energy is spent on growth and joy, not conflict and exhaustion. Ultimately, Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the tranquility that comes when you stop caring what they say, or think, or do. Only what you do. Your boundaries honor this principle by ensuring you control your actions and choices, not others. 3. Detach from emotional reactions. Toxic people often thrive on your reactions, seeking to provoke anger, guilt, or frustration. Marcus Aurelius's advice is clear. It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Detachment isn't about suppressing emotions. It's about controlling them so they don't control you. Imagine you're in a boat on the ocean. The waves represent toxic people's behavior. You can't stop the waves, but you can keep your boat steady by choosing not to react impulsively. This steadiness comes from a calm, collected mind, an essential teaching of Stoicism. The next time someone's words or actions trigger you, pause. Take a deep breath. Reflect on the situation instead of reacting immediately. Ask yourself, what is within my control here? Marcus often reminded himself to separate what is external, the other person's behavior, from what is internal, his response. This simple act of pausing can transform how you handle toxic interactions. Detachment doesn't mean indifference. It means responding thoughtfully instead of emotionally. For example, if someone insults you, instead of retaliating, you might calmly address their behavior or choose to walk away. Both actions come from a place of strength, not weakness. Cultivating this mindset requires practice. You can start by journaling about situations where you reacted emotionally and consider how you might handle them differently next time. Over time, you'll find that toxic people lose their power over you because they can no longer dictate your mood or actions. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed." This isn't about denying harm, but refusing to let it linger in your mind. By detaching from emotional reactions, you reclaim your power and ensure your peace remains intact. 4. Seek the bigger picture. When dealing with toxic people, it's easy to get caught up in the moment. Their harsh words, manipulative tactics, or relentless negativity can make you feel trapped in a storm. But Marcus Aurelius offers a liberating perspective. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. This Stoic reflection reminds us of the impermanence of all things and the insignificance of most conflicts when viewed in the grand scheme of life. Imagine a toxic situation as a single page in a vast book. If you focus solely on that page, it can feel overwhelming. But when you step back to view the entire book, you realize how small and fleeting that page truly is. This perspective isn't about dismissing the impact of negativity, but about reducing its power over your thoughts and emotions. Start by asking yourself, will this matter in a week, a month, a year? Toxic people often thrive on drawing you into their drama, making it seem like the most critical issue in the world. But when you view their actions through the lens of time, you may realize that their negativity is like a fleeting shadow, temporary and ultimately insignificant. Marcus Aurelius also encouraged reflection on mortality, not to inspire fear but to bring clarity. Life is short, and our energy is precious. Would you rather spend your time dwelling on someone else's negativity or building a life filled with peace, growth, and joy? Toxic people want to pull you into their chaos, but you have the power to step back and see the bigger picture. Remember, every moment spent entangled in toxic interactions is a moment lost for things that truly matter: your dreams, your relationships, your inner growth. By keeping the larger perspective in mind, you'll find it easier to rise above petty conflicts and focus on what truly deserves your attention. In Marcus's words, do every act of your life as if it were your last. 5. Practice compassion. Without enabling compassion is often misunderstood as a weakness, but in Stoicism, it is a profound strength. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." This means extending understanding to others while maintaining your own standards of behavior and well-being. Compassion doesn't mean tolerating toxicity. It means recognizing the humanity in others, even those who hurt us, without allowing their behavior to disrupt our peace. Consider this. Toxic individuals often act out of fear, insecurity, or unresolved pain. By viewing their actions through a lens of compassion, you can avoid reacting with anger or resentment. For example, if someone constantly criticizes you, instead of retaliating, you might think, what unmet need drives their behavior? What insecurity makes them act this way? This understanding allows you to respond calmly and thoughtfully. However, compassion must be paired with discernment. It's one thing to empathize with someone's struggles. It's another to allow their actions to harm you repeatedly. Marcus Aurelius cautioned against letting external influences disturb your inner peace. He wrote, "The tranquility that comes when you stop caring what they say, or think, or do, only what you do." To practice compassion without enabling, set clear boundaries. You can acknowledge someone's pain without becoming their emotional punching bag. For instance, you might listen to a friend vent about their problems, but firmly address it if their negativity starts to weigh on you. Compassion does not mean sacrificing your well-being. It means finding a balance where you can care for others while protecting your peace. Lastly, remember that compassion extends to yourself. If a toxic relationship takes a toll on your mental health, it's okay to step back. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that we are here to live according to nature and reason, which includes prioritizing our well-being. By practicing compassion wisely, you embody Stoic resilience, kind but firm, empathetic yet strong. 6. Protect your energy through presence. Toxic people often pull you into their web of negativity by dragging you into past grievances or future fears. They remind you of old mistakes, create unnecessary drama, or instill anxiety about things that haven't even happened. Marcus Aurelius offers a powerful antidote: presence. He wrote, "Confine yourself to the present. The present moment is where your power lies." When someone tries to engage you in toxic behavior, remind yourself that you are not obligated to dwell on their narrative. Instead, anchor yourself in the here and now. Take a moment to breathe deeply, observe your surroundings, and focus on what truly matters in the moment. This practice of mindfulness creates a mental shield against negativity. Imagine you're holding a glass of water. Toxic people are like a faucet that keeps dripping more water into your glass, hoping it will overflow. Your task is to maintain your balance by emptying the glass regularly, by returning to the present and releasing the weight of unnecessary thoughts. Marcus Aurelius frequently reminded himself of the impermanence of life to stay present. He would write, "You are a soul carrying a corpse." While this might sound stark, it's a reminder that time is finite. Why waste it on things that drain your energy? Instead of engaging with toxic people's drama, redirect your focus to actions and thoughts that align with your purpose. If you find it challenging to stay present, consider grounding techniques like focusing on your breath or repeating a calming mantra. Marcus's reflections on nature can also help. Step outside, feel the wind, listen to the birds, and remind yourself that life moves on, unaffected by petty conflicts. Ultimately, protecting your energy through presence isn't about ignoring toxic people. It's about choosing not to let them dominate your thoughts. In the words of Marcus, nowhere you can go is more peaceful, more free of interruptions than your own soul. By grounding yourself in the present, you reclaim your peace and power. 7. Refuse to take it personally. When faced with toxic behavior, the immediate temptation is to take it personally. If someone criticizes you unfairly or undermines your efforts, it's natural to feel hurt or defensive. But Marcus Aurelius's wisdom invites us to step away from this reactive mindset. He reminds us, choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. This teaching highlights an essential truth. The way we perceive others' actions often determines their impact on us. Toxic individuals act out of their own struggles, biases, and insecurities. Their behavior says more about their internal state than it does about your worth. For example, if someone constantly belittles your achievements, it might stem from their own feelings of inadequacy. When you recognize this, their words lose their sting because you understand they are a reflection of their reality, not yours. To refuse to take things personally, cultivate a strong sense of self. Marcus Aurelius often meditated on his values and purpose, grounding himself in what truly mattered. Ask yourself, what do I stand for? What are my priorities? When you are clear about your values, the opinions and actions of others become less significant. Their negativity cannot shake your inner foundation because you are rooted in your truth. Another powerful tool is perspective. Imagine the person's actions as clouds passing in the sky, temporary and fleeting. Just as you wouldn't let a passing cloud ruin your day, you can choose not to let someone's toxic behavior affect your peace. Marcus reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Finally, practice self-compassion. If someone's behavior does hurt you, don't berate yourself for feeling affected. Instead, acknowledge your emotions, process them, and let them go. This is not a sign of weakness, but of resilience and wisdom. By refusing to take toxicity personally, you create a protective barrier around your peace and focus on what truly matters. 8. Focus on what you can control. Stoicism revolves around the dichotomy of control, a principle Marcus Aurelius emphasized repeatedly. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." When dealing with toxic people, this teaching is especially crucial. Their behavior is beyond your control, but your reaction to it is entirely within your power. Toxic individuals often attempt to manipulate or provoke, seeking to control your emotions or actions. They might criticize, gossip, or play mind games to elicit a specific reaction from you. But here's the key. They only succeed if you allow them to. By focusing on what you can control, your thoughts, emotions, and actions, you take back your power. For instance, let's say a coworker constantly undermines your efforts. Instead of obsessing over their behavior, redirect your energy toward excelling in your work. Maintain professionalism and let your results speak louder than their words. This approach aligns with Marcus's advice. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one. When you focus on what's within your control, you also conserve your energy. Toxic people thrive on the chaos they create, but you don't have to participate. Imagine your mind as a garden. Would you let weeds overrun it, or would you focus on nurturing the flowers? Each time you choose to ignore toxicity and channel your energy into growth, you're tending to your mental garden. Another aspect of control is choosing your environment. If someone's toxicity is unavoidable, like a family member or coworker, control the boundaries and amount of interaction you have with them. If the relationship is optional, you can choose to walk away. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, it is not worth your while to live life while allowing the depraved to direct your actions. Ultimately, focusing on what you can control is liberating. It shifts the narrative from being a victim of someone's behavior to being the architect of your response. In doing so, you embody the resilience and wisdom of a true Stoic. 9. Avoid retaliation. When someone wrongs you, the instinctive reaction might be to retaliate. You might feel the need to defend yourself, prove a point, or give them a taste of their own medicine. But Marcus Aurelius teaches us a higher path. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Retaliation keeps you entangled in the toxicity you're trying to escape. It shifts your focus from peace and growth to anger and conflict. Worse, it often escalates the situation, creating a cycle of negativity that's difficult to break. The Stoics believed that true strength lies in maintaining your composure, even in the face of provocation. Instead of retaliating, respond with dignity. For example, if someone spreads false rumors about you, resist the urge to stoop to their level. Instead, let your actions and integrity speak for themselves. Over time, people will recognize the truth, and the toxic individual's behavior will reflect poorly on them, not you. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, to refrain from imitation is the best revenge. This approach doesn't mean allowing yourself to be a doormat. It's about choosing a response that aligns with your values rather than reacting impulsively. If someone's actions require accountability, address the issue calmly and assertively. For instance, you might report inappropriate behavior to a supervisor or have a candid conversation with the individual. Another powerful tool is forgiveness, not for their sake, but for yours. Carrying resentment only burdens you further. Forgiving doesn't mean excusing their behavior. It means freeing yourself from the emotional weight of their actions. As Marcus said, the tranquility that comes when you stop caring what they say or think or do, only what you do. By avoiding retaliation, you rise above the toxicity and maintain control over your actions and emotions. You choose the path of wisdom, integrity, and peace, leaving negativity behind. 10. Embrace silence and restraint. Toxic people often try to lure you into their chaos by provoking a reaction. They might use insults, sarcasm, or drama to pull you into an argument. However, Marcus Aurelius offers a powerful counter-strategy: silence. He wrote, "Silence is a lesson learned from the many sufferings of life. By refusing to engage, you deny them the satisfaction of controlling your emotions. Silence is not passive. It's a deliberate act of strength and restraint. When you choose not to respond, you maintain your power. Imagine someone shouting at you in anger. If you remain calm and silent, their words lose momentum, like waves crashing against a solid rock. Over time, their frustration diminishes, and your composure shines through as an example of self-mastery." Marcus Aurelius believed that our actions and words should align with reason and purpose. Ask yourself, will my response add value to this situation? If the answer is no, choose silence. Toxic people often thrive on arguments because it gives them attention and a sense of control. By staying silent, you disrupt their cycle and preserve your peace. Silence doesn't mean you ignore all toxic behavior. There are times when you need to address issues, but even then your words should be measured and thoughtful. Speak only when your response serves a purpose, such as setting boundaries or clarifying a misunderstanding. Marcus advised, "Don't let your imagination be crushed by life as a whole. Stick with the situation at hand." Another aspect of restraint is avoiding gossip. Toxic individuals often try to involve others in their negativity by spreading rumors or complaints. Resist the urge to participate, even if it's tempting to defend yourself. Instead, let your actions demonstrate your character. Over time, your restraint will earn you respect, while their words will fade into irrelevance. By embracing silence and restraint, you embody Stoic wisdom. You demonstrate that strength isn't in loud reactions, but in calm control. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Be like the cliff against which the waves continually break, but it stands firm and tames the fury of the water around it." 11. Choose your circle wisely. One of the most empowering ways to deal with toxic people is to minimize their presence in your life. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of surrounding yourself with virtuous individuals. He wrote, "The people you surround yourself with will shape your life." This principle is especially relevant when dealing with toxicity. Toxic people drain your energy, disrupt your peace, and often hinder your growth. While you may not always be able to eliminate them completely, especially if they're family or co-workers. You can choose to limit their influence. Evaluate your relationships regularly. Ask yourself, does this person uplift me or pull me down? Those who consistently bring negativity into your life don't deserve a prominent place in it. Surround yourself with people who embody qualities you admire: kindness, wisdom, integrity, and optimism. These individuals inspire you to grow and provide a safe space where you can thrive. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. By choosing a circle of supportive, positive people, you ensure your thoughts and actions align with your highest values. But what if you can't completely avoid toxic individuals? In such cases, set firm boundaries. Limit interactions to what is necessary and keep conversations neutral. For example, with a toxic coworker, you can stick to discussing work-related topics and avoid engaging in personal matters. This creates a protective buffer around your mental and emotional energy. Additionally, cultivate solitude. Marcus Aurelius often found strength in being alone with his thoughts, writing, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." Use solitude to reflect, recharge, and reconnect with your inner values. By prioritizing your peace over toxic relationships, you reclaim control over your life. Ultimately, choosing your circle wisely is an act of self-respect. It's a declaration that your time and energy are too precious to waste on negativity. With the right people by your side, you'll find it easier to rise above challenges and embrace a life of purpose and joy. 12th, let go when necessary. Finally, there comes a point when the best way to deal with a toxic person is to let them go. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the transient nature of relationships, writing, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." This teaching encourages us to release relationships that no longer serve us. Letting go isn't easy. It might mean ending a friendship, distancing yourself from a family member, or leaving a workplace. But clinging to a toxic relationship out of fear or guilt only prolongs your suffering. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." This principle applies to relationships as well. If a connection isn't right for your well-being, it's time to release it. Consider letting go as an act of self-care. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack filled with rocks. Each toxic relationship adds another rock, weighing you down. By releasing these burdens, you free yourself to move forward with lightness and clarity. Letting go doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care enough about yourself to prioritize your peace. The process of letting go can be gradual. Start by reducing interactions and setting boundaries. Over time, you'll find that their absence creates space for healthier relationships and personal growth. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, do not be ashamed of needing help. You have a duty to fulfill, just like a soldier on the wall of battle. Seek support from trusted friends, mentors, or counselors during this process. Letting go also requires forgiveness, not necessarily for their sake, but for yours. Forgiveness allows you to release resentment and move forward without carrying emotional baggage. As Marcus wrote, "He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe." By letting go, you align your life with this harmony, choosing peace over conflict and growth over stagnation. Life is too short to allow toxicity to dictate your days. As Marcus reminded himself, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Let's strive to think clearly, act wisely, and choose peace. If these lessons resonated with you, don't keep them to yourself. Like, share, and subscribe for more insights rooted in the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. And remember, the power to rise above lies within you.